Since you guys can't see, I don't have the gavel, hence I thought let me have a substitute. Good afternoon and a very, very warm welcome to all of you. Today is our 6th online meeting and I'm very happy to see you all here. Procrastination. Since this is the theme of today, I kind of feel that it is so relatable to all of us, right? I mean, it is literally the story of my life. I'm certain that that is the case for most of us, if not all. So much so that I was so excited to take this role of SAA today because I've never done this before. But if you see me, I probably started thinking of what I should be saying half an hour before. So here I am instead talking about procrastination to you guys. Now getting right down to it, there are some guidelines that we would like to follow throughout the meeting, through our online meetings. First one is kindly keep yourself muted if you are not talking, as that will help others talk and will not disturb them when they are talking. Keep your phones on silent mode and please refrain from doing any work related activities now, because we are all here to spend some time with each other. And as usual, please avoid talking about the taboo topics, which is religion, politics, and sex. Lastly, kindly make sure that you have loads and loads of fun, because this is a place we get together to lighten our hearts and to have some fun. On that happy note, I'd like to hand over the mantle to the presiding officer of today, Abhijit. Over to you, Abhijit. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shreya, for such a joyful and happy introduction to this meeting. The oxygen levels were dangerously low. The snow on the steep slope, was powdery. One wrong step, and it could have meant certain death for the two climbers. It could have even triggered an avalanche that could have wiped out the rest of their team downhill. Channeling their inner fears and a heartbeat that had gone into an overdrive, two men overcame the unsurmountable, stepped into the unknown, and with a sheer determination, conquered the whole world with their positive attitude. One of these men was born on this very day, May 15th, 1914, and his name was Tenzing Norgay. Inspirational stories are a great way to wipe out the negativity from our mind and fill it with some positivity. Loads and loads of positive energies. Something I feel all of us can do a lot with in today's world. But just make sure you don't procrastinate while you go ahead and try to get rid of that negativity from your mind. Well, we do have a very special meeting ahead of us today. We have a very special guest who's going to give us a speech. She's not a guest because she's been our mentor and has been here for such a long time that we consider her as half member, if not full. And then we'll have an equally surprising and amazing table topic session to follow. One thing that I want to let everybody know is that we have a lot of guests who have joined us today. Thank you everybody who came here. Milind, I see you. We have Rohini, we have going through the list, Suraj and Sanket. So thanks all for being here. I would definitely love to come back to you by the end of the meeting and see how this went for you and just share your feedback with them. All right, until then, I will not procrastinate anymore, and I would like to move the meeting into the top tier and call the Toastmaster of the day. Please join me in welcoming the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Bhargav.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I'm Bhargav, and I'm the TMoD for today's session. Wednesday afternoon, Shreya pinged me, asking me if I could be the TMoD for today's session. Though I had a lot of work piled up over the week, I thought I could still pull this over. So I replied to her in the affirmative. I thought I would prepare very well. I would give a stellar performance. I would start working on the team that day itself. In fact, I thought I would complete my work by 7 p.m. that day and start working on it, working on the team. The clock struck away. It was 7 p.m. already. I was about to start working on the theme, but then something stuck to my mind. I still have a lot of time. I have the whole evening for myself. I could still prepare for the topic. Still prepare for the role. So I thought, why not just watch YouTube videos for just 10 minutes? It wouldn't hurt. I opened the app and there's this very cool video with the title, "एक महीने में आपका तोंद कम करे और पेट का चर्बी भी कम करे," grabbed my attention. I started watching it and it led to a couple of videos on fitness. And then they led to a couple of videos on healthy eating. And they led to a couple of more videos on adulteration and pollution, which is adulterating our food. And in no time, I found myself in my kitchen balcony planting vegetable seeds. I wasted the evening away. I still thought I still had, 2 days to prepare for the meeting. So I was still cool. I woke up on Thursday morning and then Sneha pinged me asking me the theme for the meeting. She wanted to prepare a poster. I told her I would be ready with the theme for the meeting by the end of the day for sure. And the day passed by. I totally forgot about the meeting. And then she pings me at 9. I was completely blank. I didn't have any theme. I had to answer her. And then something wild stuck to my mind. I have been procrastinating all this while. Why not keep the theme of this meeting as procrastination? I would have a ton of content because my procrastination defines my life. So impulsively, I just replied to her that the theme of this meeting would be procrastination. And that is when, my friends, the fate of this meeting was decided. I thought enough is enough. I would start preparing for the meeting that time itself. But then I started having this weird craving for kadai paneer. I went to my mom asking her to cook me kadai paneer, but then she showed me away, telling that she had a lot of work to do. I had to go into the kitchen and cook dinner for everyone. And that's how I still couldn't start working. It was already Thursday night. Well, kadai paneer did weird things to my bowels. And then the last thing I could think of is preparing for the meeting. So I slept the night away. And today morning, I was like completely in a panic state. Still didn't have anything to talk about. And while I, rant about the story of mine throughout the meeting, I would introduce someone in our team who believes that he was not a serial procrastinator, but he was a parallel procrastinator. By parallel procrastination, he means that he likes to get things done parallelly. He believes that improves his efficiency and productivity. And he recounts an event which happened in his college life where procrastination introduced him to the world of public speaking. Let's welcome onto the stage Toastmaster Ram, the general evaluator for today's session. He would describe the role and introduce the tag team.
Thank you, Chief Procrastinator, and for doing a great job, great service to me by introducing me. My name is Ram. I'm going to be the general evaluator.
Hey, I'm not able to hear Ram properly. Am I the only one?
Yeah.
You're not alone.
No, it's very hollow sound, Ram.
Yep.
Hello, good afternoon.
Much better this way.
Okay, I'm going to start again. Let's hope this is good. Thank you, Chief Procrastinator, for introducing me. My name is Ram. I'll be the general evaluator for the day. My role today is to keep tabs on how the meeting is being run. To do that, I'm going to take the help of several other Toastmasters, and towards the end of the meeting, present a report and share how this whole meeting went. While we do this, I have a couple of things that we'll keep in mind for the day. Since the topic is about procrastination, let's focus on sticking to not procrastinating, and let's make sure that we'll do things on time and be efficient. With that, let me begin by calling on the first person who'll help me to do this. When I asked him, or rather I didn't because I was procrastinating. When I asked him, hey, Mr. Timer, what are your thoughts on procrastinating? He told me, do you think I'm going to procrastinate? My job is to make sure that no one will procrastinate. With that, welcome Toastmaster Sasty.
Hey guys, I'll be the timer for today. There is a proverb that states that you should eat a meal while it is hot and you should speak while the time is ripe. Well, we have gathered here to speak, and this is the right time and venue to speak here. So speak up, come up to the stage to so unmute yourself and start speaking. And my role here today is to keep a check so that no one takes no one else's time here. And as a general rule, for table topics, the timing will be 1 minute green. 1 minute green and 1.5 minutes yellow and 2 minutes red. And for the speech, it'll be 5 minutes green, 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes red. For evaluations, it's 1 green, 2 yellow, and 3 red. Back to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasty. Like I said, when we procrastinate, let's do that in parallel. So to make sure that this meeting runs smoothly, the next person who'll help me, Toastmaster Sreelekha. Again, I didn't ask her and she didn't tell me, but from whatever we know from the role, we expect that she's a person who likes to procrastinate, but she can't tolerate others who do. So what she's going to do is make sure that no one is going to use filler words, crutch words, and other time fillers and really hurry them along. With that said, let's see what else she has to say. Quickly, please.
Hey Ram. Hey guys, everybody. I'm Sreelekha. I'm playing the role of AhCounter today. So Ram has covered most of my responsibilities today. So I'm reiterating them once for the benefit of the guests. So I'll keep a tab on the CRPFs. So C stands for crutch words. Those are sounds like you make while using sentences. R stands for repetitions. P stands for pauses, long and unnecessary pauses while you deliver your speech. And filler words like so, like, all these words. So without these words, the speech will be much smoother. That is the intention today. For when I heard about the meeting theme today, that is procrastination, I thought I'll do some research and prepare some interesting content to talk about procrastination today. But as usual, I procrastinated and I could not make some interesting content. But I did find some interesting analogy for procrastination on Google. So procrastination is like credit card. So it's only you enjoy it only till you get the bill. Once you get the bill, you don't. So that's it. Over to you, Ram.
Thank you. I hope you won't send me the bill. The next person prides himself on his accuracy and says, what? Me procrastinate? For me, it's quality at all costs. And then I asked him, does it mean you're going to stick to quality even at the expense of time? And he said, yes. For me, it's quality at all costs. So he's going to be the dash for the day. He'll introduce himself in a minute. But I don't like it because to me, we're going to do this like a team. So he's going to work with the timer, make sure that he'll present his report on time because we've seen grammarians really take a lot of time in presenting their reports. And he'll make sure that he'll add his value, even though he wants quality at all costs to this meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Sumit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram. Good afternoon, everyone. The dash stands for Grammarian, by the way. Just for those people who are figuring it out, that's Grammarian. And I just wanted to tell you a story. I'll make this quick and short for making it less painful for those who are hearing it already. So every Monday morning, we used to have a lab in our college days, right? The magical days. I call these days magical because somehow Monday to Monday, I always used to lose the track of time, right? Every Sunday night, I just could not recollect what I did entire week to not write my records. And every Sunday night at 12:30, my friends used to come to my place, and we all used to have a team record writing spree till 4 o'clock in the morning. Wake up at 7:30 again in the morning, and go to the lab sleepy. And you know how the vivas went after that. So that is one of the stories which I have with respect to this team. And the only way I can describe myself here is indolent. Indolent being the word of the day. Indolent means lazy. One of the correct usages of this word were they were indolent and addicted to a life of pleasure. Well, that's what my life was until my college years ended. So, well, it still continues today in some or the other ways. As a grammarian, my job will be to make sure that no one uses the terms of English language wrongly from the syntax and semantic point of view. So with that, I would like to hand it back to Toastmaster Ram. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sowmya. Nice and precise speech. The next person who's really going to be the star of the show today will be the first evaluator, Toastmaster Abhijit. His starts, he may be indolent, but he'll be a role model today. He has no excuses. He's the presiding officer. Consequently, he'll do his best to make sure that the meeting will go in the most precise manner that's possible. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram. So as I had mentioned, when I was wearing the other hat or like other microphones, which are whatever you might want to call it, the presiding officer role, I had mentioned about a special speech we have today from Toastmaster Sowmya, who is joining us from the ANZ Toastmasters Club. And all of you have been here at least for a few times in Toastmasters, might have known her. She has been our mentor. So she is going to deliver her L3 P3 project from Pathways. So from the standard of our club, it's an advanced speech. So I'm really looking forward to everybody learning a lot from today's speech. The topic that she has chosen, I leave the diverging of the title to the Toastmaster of the day, but I'm really, really looking forward to the speech. It's something that's going to leave us with a lot of positivity at the end. So just quickly talking about her objectives, she is going to give a speech which is supposed to be an inspiring speech. She is going to do her best to come up with content as well as with her delivery, engage all of us, inspire all of us with a strong message. So I'm going to look mainly for the connection that she established with the audience and the techniques that she uses to do that. And then I'm also looking forward to a strong content and clarity as well as the technique she uses for delivery. With that, all the best, Sowmya. I'm really looking forward to your speech. Back to the Toastmasters.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit. The first speaker believes that she's not a serial procrastinator, but in fact, she's more methodical. But recently she procrastinated and it resulted in something really bad. She was planning to shift her house closer to work. She procrastinated about that. And then lockdown happened and she ended up being quarantined in the same old location. I would like to invite Toastmaster Sowmya onto the screen to give her L3 P3 speech. Toastmaster Sowmya, power of positivity, Toastmaster Sowmya.
Thank you. Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters. Let me start with a simple question. Do you all believe in taking risks in life? Let me repeat. Do you all believe in taking risks in life? Can I see a show of hands? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I strongly believe taking risks in life will let you lead if you win and let you guide if you lose. Such was my situation a few years back when I just graduated. After my graduation, I knew that my family would expect me to get married to someone from Coorg. I wasn't opposed to that idea, but I definitely wasn't ready. As an obedient daughter, I met every young man my father selected to me, and this continued for quite some time. By now, I was beginning to get bored as I was spending my precious weekends in meeting someone new, or rather say some new risks. And one fine day, I get to meet this guy in coffee day. And that was a usual thing for me, as I had met a number of guys in the course of selecting the group. After the meet, I told Dad, now that's the kind of guy to meet. That was the beginning of magic. All of a sudden, I was falling for it. Here was a young man who was charming, looked straight into my eyes, and spoke straight from the heart. Now that was novelty for me, as most of the guys had met earlier were more than eager to impress me. They say journey ends and lovers meet. For me, it was the beginning of an extremely romantic journey. We got engaged on shipping. That happens to all the girls who are engaged to be married, right? So what was different? The fact that I had a partner who shared my passion, allowed me to be just me and continue to enjoy my life just the way I did before marriage. I can't tell you enough how much I had dreamt of. The fear of being packed into domesticity was looming large over my head, and all that just that meat and coffee. It definitely must have been positivity. What one passionately wants will surely get it. And it must have been God's blessing for me to be a procrastinator while the groom. In the same year of marriage, I got an opportunity to apply for a role in ANZ Technology. Me being from operations background, first thought was that would be definitely challenging for me to crack the interview. But with my optimistic attitude, I thought, why not? Gave it a try, and guess what? I was First 3 months was smooth. Then the leadership team changed. Had new managers coming in with new expectations from the team. The next 12 months was a bit. Life was hell at work for all in the team. Those days were one of the worst days of my life. I would go back home, sit in front of the laptop for hours and cry at my plight. Looking at this, my family said, you don't have to go through this, just quit if you're not happy. But you know what? I believe in the quote, winners never quit and quitters never. So I continued to focus on learning new techniques, and with toil, in 2 months' time, I was back in the game, and everything started falling in place, and people started recognizing my efforts. By then, next opportunity knocked. Again, with positive attitude, gave my interview, and when I got the good news that I cracked the interview, at the same time, figured out that I'm going to be a mother soon. Now the dilemma starts again, whether they would consider me to this role after getting to know that I will be going on maternity leave. Driven by the most important value, integrity, what I believe in, I immediately called my hiring manager to convey this news so that they can revisit if they would want to change their decision. But the response what I got was that a child is a boon for you and your. That was one of the happiest days of my life. As quoted, Swami Vivekananda, all the power is within you. Whatever you believe is what you will be. So be strong and stay positive. Don't be indolent. Believe in yourself and things will fall in place. Over to you, TMoD. Thank you.
That was a great speech, Toastmaster Sowmya.
Thank you.
Well, where were we in my story? Okay. Today morning, I still didn't have any content to talk about. I just had 8 hours of time and I had to speak for almost like 10 to 12 minutes. What would I do? I was in a panic state. I pinged every role taker asking about their, thoughts about procrastination. And then I decided that is it. I would not procrastinate anymore and I would start preparing. But this time it was not procrastination. It was work calls. I suddenly started getting pings from different people and I had to attend a couple of calls. I still couldn't get to, preparing for the meeting. The clock struck 1. I had 3 hours left for the meeting and I still didn't have anything to talk. But then something wild stuck to my mind. Why not narrate all the crazy stuff you have been doing all these 3 days, procrastinating about preparing for the meeting, and that could become your content. So that's what I was doing right now. Well, by now you would have understood that I'm one hell of a procrastinator. And there is one person in our club who feels that she could give a tough competition to me. Our next speaker feels that if Nobel or Oscar had a category for procrastination, she would be the winner. She feels that she's been procrastinating for good all this while in the quarantine period. She's procrastinating about getting into the kitchen and she feels that that's been helping her family and her. Let's invite onto the screen Toastmaster Akshaya, who's going to be the table topics master for today's session.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhargav. So for the most part of my life, I have been procrastinating about doing a donation. So I'm going to call it the donation of body fat. Unfortunately, it's been long in process, but hopefully it will get into a shape sometime soon. So today's table topic session, which I believe is going to be a bit of, it's going to have a lot of personal touch because it's going to be about us who are on the screen. So for people who have joined from outside of Arista, I leave it to you to run your imagination horses wild. So today, for anybody who opts to speak in this impromptu session, I would give you a prompt. So this prompt will consist of 3 clues. So these 3 clues, 2 of them will be true and 1 of them will be false. So all these 3 clues will be about a person. So you have to take a guess on who this person is and kind of try to figure out what statements are true and what statements you think are a lie and justify it in the 1 or 2 minutes that you get. So in your first minute, they will flash a green card. The timer of today is Sasty. He will flash a green card, and in 1 minute and 30 seconds, you will see an amber, and you have 2 minutes in total to speak. And at the end of 2 minutes, we will see red. So any volunteers? So it is going to be very, very simple. I will hand over the prompt to you. The prompt will consist of 3 clues. 2 of them are true, and 1 of them is a blatant lie. But all these 3 are about a person who is with us today. You can see this person on the screen. So you just have to take a guess who that person is. And then justify as to what you think are true, like what statements you think are true and what you think is a lie. And why you think so, and why you think that person is the reason. Hello. So can we see any show of hands or volunteer? Okay, I'm going to pick Supriya because she's my friend and I can take this liberty and she would not mind. Okay.
I need easy clues, Akshaya, please.
Okay. So let's start with Supriya. So you have numbers from 1 to 8. You can pick whatever number you want.
1.
Okay. So please note this person. You can see this person on the screen. You just have to take a guess who this person is. Okay. So I'll just give the 3 clues. I try my best to join all the YTC meetings. I never procrastinate, and I'm a very, very good cook. Who am I?
I repeat, I try to join all the OITC meetings. I never procrastinate, and I cook really, really well. Who do you think am I? Okay, so okay,
Okay.
Yeah, we can start the minute you start talking.
That would be myself. So that's me. I try to join all the OITC meetings, and you know that I join, but I'm not sure if I participate actively. And yeah, and I do not procrastinate. Yeah, I can actually tell that because you guys don't know, right? Like whatever I tell will actually be correct, like politically correct, or you have to believe me. And the lie is that I cook really, really well. Yes, so and the reason why I told that I don't procrastinate is that I was actually trying not to attend the meeting today, but still I thought, okay, let's attend this meeting, and then maybe I'll not attend the next meeting, and that's why I told that I don't. Yeah, and cooking, if you, I'll probably get something next week. No, not next week. Okay, whenever we meet, and then you taste the food that I cook, and then you will be like, yes, Supriya, you were right. It's a lie that you cook really well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you, Akshaya.
Thank you so much, Supriya. And there is also one more person who shares the same truths and same lie, and that person whom we can see on the screen is Sasty. So this person who is behind this prompt is Sasty. So any other volunteers from today? Or can I just start picking? Oh, I can see Hind. I think Hind raised his hand. Okay. Okay, let me, please pick a number from 1 to, sorry, since 1 is gone, please pick a number from 2 to 8. 4. Okay. Oh, this is very easy for you. Okay. Cakes, candles, and cardio. You name it, I do it. My Hogwarts letter somewhere went missing, and that's why I'm here with you all today. But be careful, because I'm also a kleptomaniac. Who am I? So in case, okay. Yeah.
All right. I think I really got an easy one. This must be
Yeah.
Shreya. She gushes over Harry Potter all the time.
What do you think is the lie? So you have to justify.
Kleptomaniac. I would assume that she's not a thief. I used to have a work desk right beside her, and I don't remember noticing anything being stolen from my desk. So it is quite likely that she is not a kleptomaniac, but you never know. Humans are weird. What was the first one? I forgot that. Cake, candles, and cardio. You name it, you do it. Okay. Well, that can also be. Now I'm confused. It's either cakes, candles, or it's kleptomaniac. To make things more spicy, I'll go ahead with kleptomania is true because everyone has a dark side. Now this decent looking human, very very civil looking human also must have a dark side to herself. So cakes, candles, and cardio. She doesn't look a cakey person, or I don't know how a cakey person looks like. I'm not sure. I'm just shooting in the dark here. That is about my time. I'm not sure. Was I just supposed to identify the lie and the person? In which case I did amazingly. Thank you very much.
So just to add on to that, if you want, you can elaborate a bit creatively on what you think is and why do you think is true, because she baked a cake for you someday and you had it and it was so amazing. So blah blah blah. So this is what I would.
Opportunity.
Yeah. So this is what I'm thinking that people would. Okay. Anyways, so going forward, can we have some more takers? Any volunteers with this? Okay, let's call Milind. I think it's time. Okay, So Milind, would you like to go for a number? Any number in between?
I can, but the people here, I hardly know their peculiarities. So I'm just going to throw something. I have no idea. Unless you pick Abhijit and Ram.
So any number between 2 to 8, 4 is taken. Sorry? Hello?
2 to 8, did you say, or 2 to 10?
2 to 8. 2 to 8, yeah.
8.
8. Okay. Oh, this is easy. Okay. I would like to believe that I am a polyglot in the making because I know 5 languages already. So there is one similarity between Sherlock Holmes, Albert Einstein, and me, because all 3 of us play violin. And the next time you talk to me, please remember that I have trained for years in martial arts. So these are the 3 clues that point to this person.
You'll have to repeat the clues, sorry.
Okay. So I know 5 languages because I believe I'm a polyglot in making.
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes, Albert Einstein, and me have a similarity. All 3 of us play violin. Third clue is I am trained in martial arts.
Oh, I have seriously no clue.
Maybe you can just take a guess.
So the person knowing 5 languages, my guess should be somebody from South India. And that could be a truth. Somebody playing violin, probably I would have known because I have been in the Arista band. And I don't recall anybody in violin, so that should be a false statement. And the last one about me being Sherlock Holmes and these things.
Martial arts. Huh.
And martial arts, yeah. That's pretty wild. Okay. I have no idea about Sreelekha, Sumedh, Sasty, Supriya, Rohini, Anurag, you. Come on, these 2, I have no clue. Okay, let's pick Hind. Hind plays, I know, ukulele, so I'm just... but it should be from South India though. Sorry, hold on. Maybe Sreelekha. I don't know. Because I think she had called once me or interacted, if I vaguely remember, for a band.
Okay.
It could be, I don't know. Just guess. Okay, Sreelekha.
Okay. So can we call that a day? Actually, this person is Ram.
Ram, really? Ram plays violin? Amazing. Come on. You can't be hiding so much.
No, but this is what is true. Like.
No, this is the lie.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Got it.
So yeah, I can play the violin, Milind, but I'm tone deaf. I mean, one of the things I've learned for several years, but I still can't do very well.
Okay.
I learned to play for more than 6 years, but I'm still not very good at it.
Okay. And what else is the lie here? Is it the 5 languages?
That's the lie. No, that's the lie.
Oh, that's
the lie is my violin.
Oh, you speak 5 languages?
Yeah, I can manage them. Yeah, not very good, but yeah, I can manage 5.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
This is just wild guess. I had no clue, absolutely. Sorry.
Thank you, Milind. So do we still have time? Timer? Timer is Sasty, right? Do we still have time for more?
Yes, we might have for one more.
One more. So one more volunteers in the house? Any other volunteers? Okay, can we pick Sanket? I can see Sanket is one of our guests. Okay. Sanket, would you like to try?
Yeah, sure. Let's see.
Okay. So please pick a number from in 2, 3, 4.
I'll take 3.
Okay. This is also easy. Okay. For most part, I believe that I was manufactured without a mute button. Others call it shopping, but I call it therapy. And for most part, all the things I hate begin with Game of Thrones. So 2 things are lie in this. 1 thing is true. Whom do you think this person is and why do you think so? So the statements are, basically the person means that they can't stop talking. The second is they love shopping. And third is they hate Game of Thrones. Who do you think this person is? And one of these statements is a lie.
Who doesn't stop talking here?
I thought it was Akshaya.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Okay. Any clues? Because I'm clueless.
Because this person is in your team. They sit in your bay. That is.
Whoa. Okay. I think then I got the answer as well. So let me guess what the truth and what truth and what lie lies there. Okay. Talking too much. In my way, in the sense, it should be. Is this Sreelekha?
Just continue and like talking about this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Talkative. Yes. Okay. Agreed. Then shopping. I don't know. What was the other one? I forgot.
Yes, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. We once did bay decoration on Game of Thrones, but is she a hater of Game of Thrones? Maybe she likes it. Maybe that's a lie. Yeah, two truths and one lie.
I think people no, like you can talk more about it. I think people didn't get it anyway. It's okay. Sorry. You can just go on to think that why do you think she hates Game of Thrones, or why do you think she's
Okay.
talkative or whatever.
So talkative, yes, I have interacted with her a lot. So yes, she is talkative. She talks to almost everyone. Yes, agreed. Makes sense. Now, next thing is about shopping. Can you repeat that sentence? What you said, that was nice. What was that?
Sorry. Others call it shopping. I call it therapy.
I call it therapy. This I don't know. So I'm assuming it's true. But for Game of Thrones, what happened once is that she was not in our bay at that time, and during bay decoration, we had come up with this Game of Thrones theme, and all the other teams opposed that. Probably she lies in that team, and she opposed it maybe because she didn't like Game of Thrones. So yeah, that is why I think these traits match with Sreelekha. And probably more importantly, you gave a very big clue there, which is who sits in my bay. Right. So yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So do we have time for one more?
Yeah, let's have one more.
Okay.
Let's make it 5.
Okay. Anyone? Any other volunteers? Shreya, would you like to take a dip?
Sure.
Okay, so I would just like to reiterate that I was thinking that we would, in the course of justifying this, we would have some fun facts being revealed or what people think. That is what is the motto of this. So please pick a number in 2 or 3. So these are the 2 slots left. 3. Okay. Okay. So this is one. I once tried to put my sister in a washing machine because I was too fed up of her. And the second statement says that I tried to pee in front of my director's bungalow because I was again fed up. And the third is when I was a child, I was once chased by a hen. Who do you think this person is? They have tried to elope. They have tried to put their sister in washing machine. Who do you think this person is?
See, since you mentioned that there is peeing involved in front of a director's house, I would guess this is not a girl. This has to be a guy. And secondly, I would guess this is somebody in hostel, because I don't think day scholars take the efforts, especially in cities, to go to their director's houses, pee, and then get back home also on the same day. So here, I'm not sure who has studied in a hostel here. And I don't think directors or managers here would reveal stories like this about themselves and get themselves voluntarily into trouble. So I am going to say that I would like to believe that this is the truth because it's too juicy. So I'd like to say that it has to be Sumedh. I feel that Sumedh is the guy who is destructive enough to put his poor little tiny sister into a washing machine and watch her tumble over and over again. And and then have the guts. I don't know if I should call it guts or not. I mean, still no idea to be in front of a director's house. What was the third one? Actually, I kind of forgot.
He was chased by a hen.
Yeah, I don't think that is true. I think that is false. I think he would be chasing hens instead. So it seems more possible that he would be chasing. But in a city, where do you get hens around? I mean, I have not seen hens in years here. So I would say that that is not the truth. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya. This wonderful person is Bhargav, the Toastmaster of today, whom I'm going to hand over in a couple of minutes. So the person behind this prompt was Toastmaster Bhargav. So I think with that, we call it a wrap on the table topics session. So I request him to paste the table topics link so that we can all vote and elect the best table topic speaker of the day. Thank you so much, everybody, for your.
Awesome, Akshaya.
Thank you.
Thanks, Milind. So please do vote for the best table topic speaker in the link. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akshaya, for that fun-filled table topics session. I really liked it. But Shreya, you guessed it all wrong. The second thing was not a lie. Second thing was a lie, actually. I never had courage to, go in front of directors Mangla. We saw Three Idiots and then we were motivated, but a group of us, but we couldn't, do that. But the first one was true. I just had a wild thought, why, my sister was too young. I thought, why not, put her in washing machine? She could get clean. But then my mother came in time and then she stopped me. And then, yeah, I was chased by a hen once when I was a kid in my village. It was a really big fat hen and I had to run for my life.
I don't think she meant that hen anyway.
Okay. So I would like to now invite onto the screen Toastmaster Ram, who is the general evaluator, to evaluate the proceedings of today's meeting along with the tag team.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Bhargav. I was procrastinating so much during this meeting that I forgot to take notes. So I don't really have any eval. However, I think we had a lot of fun today. Most of the things that we had to do, all of them went well. I'll start from the last and then go up. Great table topics, conversation and session. A lot of fun there. I didn't know that the table topics master came in and she was so good at procrastinating that she began to make people guess what was in someone else's mind. So hats off to her. If I'm going back, the Grammarian Sumedh, I think fantastic job. All of the right things that we had to do got done there. I only wish that people remembered and used the word of the day. And it was so much related to procrastination. Somehow that caught the imagination of most people, not the indolent word. From Sreelekha's perspective, the AhCounter, we'll have to have her come and give her report, and then we'll see that. And then timer also. So I'll invite each one of them to come and share their thoughts and their reports, and then we'll talk about that. Sasty, if you will start, please.
Yeah. So today, well, the meeting we began a bit late, around 3 minutes late. That's still fine. And everything went in time after that. The speaker spoke for around 5 minutes, 20 seconds. And it was good to see that every table topic speaker was able to speak over the green light, over the green and almost everyone spoke around 1 minute 30 seconds. So we are a bit late today, but this is a good session, so we can still allow that. Over to you, Toastmaster. Oh,
Thank you, Toastmaster Sasty, for keeping records. The evaluator, so that we'll hear about how that speech went. Toastmaster Abhijit, if you can come and talk about that aspect of things.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram. Well, my biggest nemesis for any time I give a speech is the timer. So now that that report is out of the way, so I guess I can take my own time to give this evaluation. Well, let's move on to hear how Sowmya did in his speech. Sowmya, great speech. I think your title about the positivity that you wanted to bring in the speech, the power of positivity was your title, and I think that was very much obvious all through your speech. You got picked some actually two different stories from your life, and you even had the motherhood aspect of your second personal story. So I think all of those are very relatable. So I think you did a great job there. I would like to circle back on two specific things that I mentioned. I will look into, and then I will give both the things that I think you did well in the respect of those things, as well as the things that you can do better. First of all, a great start to the speech. You were not indolent at all. Your voice was very strong and very clear, which was a great intro. And you also started with a question. So one aspect that I wanted to look at was connection with audience. So I think that immediately started. You immediately hit the hammer on the nail by starting with a question, and you got their attention. You also, so great job there. I think that was definitely a great technique to do that. You also made sure that you used gestures and body language, especially when you used the language showcasing your heart, and you also used your hands here, and you did a bunch of different things to, rather than just kind of staring in the camera and just giving your speech. So I think that's definitely great. As much as this mode limits us as speakers, we still have some opportunity within that box that we can bring in. So I think we should all strive to do that. So again, great job on that. You're specifically when you use very good phrases like lovers meet or straight from the end, and there were many other quotes that you used. One thing that was a bit of a bummer was somewhere you were getting cut off because of the internet issues. So I was not able to follow some things, which I think were in some places came in very strong phrases that you delivered. So I think I couldn't really capture some of that. But then the content was, you did a great job. Now, the story format, I think it's very hard to give a message without keeping it interesting, and story is a great way to do that. Both the stories that you brought up, either your finding love story or the challenging job story, I think both are very relatable. And I think that the message of how you can strive, keep on finding positivity through tough situations was very easily seen there. Now, a couple of things that you can do better on in the same regard. Connection with audience. I think you could focus more on emotions. Now, emotions are really needed to touch the others, which is what an inspiring speech really is for, right? Your content was very relatable, so that's the first checkbox. But the second thing is delivery of emotions. I think you can use some dramatization. And another great way is to use dramatization is to give yourself some time. You had a lot of content, so you were rushing. If you would just pause and wait for the emotion to actually go across and let people really soak it in, I think that would really take your speech one notch up. The second thing about content, which I will very concisely tell you here, a little bit of better organization to bring all those stories together at the end for a stronger conclusion would have been a great thing if you could work on that. I think for me personally, I would love to have an inspiring story leave me with a moving thought or an inspiring thought. In that aspect, I think you were a little rushed. So I think that's one thing that you can work on very easily, and all of that together will bring your speech to a much better level than it's already is. Overall, thanks a lot for coming over here and sharing your thoughts and your stories with us. I think it was a great learning experience and great job. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Abhijit. We'll work upon it. And thanks for giving me this opportunity to be here. And then I complete my level 3 today. And thanks all of you all for this. Thanks.
Okay, Toastmaster Sreelekha, if you can present your report.
Hey everybody, I was wondering how many meetings did I miss and what miracle has happened. We are looking at something 40 plus CRPF. The last time I was AhCounter, I think it was 150 plus together throughout the meeting. That's some real improvement, guys. And surprisingly, the table topics, pauses, asks, and the filler words are way lesser than what we had earlier. Most of the asks and the filler words came from Supriya, a few from Sanket. Coming to the meatiest roles today, Toastmaster Bhargav had few filler words, 5 plus. I think that is understandable because you play the host today. And Abhijit, you had a couple of hosts while presenting the evaluation. Apart from that, the introduction and the presiding officer roles were clean. And kudos to Ram. Every time I am the AhCounter, I try to fetch at least one crutch word, one repetition in his speech, but I can never do that. So I think that we can try and inculcate that in our speeches as well. Yeah, that's all I have. I can share the individual report if you can reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sreelekha. Over to Grammarian, Toastmaster Sumit.
So before I start off with anything, I'd like to thank everyone here for keeping it so simple for me. I have seen the hard work Grammarian has to usually put tracking down sentences, writing, scribbling stuff down. And this time around, we all chose, for some reason, to use simple sentences, simple constructs, not much of rhetoric. I think you were, at some levels, this was deliberately done, is my understanding. So thank you, guys, for keeping it so very simple and short. Having kept it simple, there were not many instances wherein we went wrong with our method of speech. So the syntax part and the semantics part were not wrong in most of the places. One thing which was missing was the exclamation marks. So somewhere you want to say something, you have to time it accordingly, right? So the commas, where we actually write commas, you have to make sure that they come across. You can't rush through the commas. So make sure that the commas come across. I think almost all of us today kept it simple and short, but we missed around the commas. I think that is one thing which I was looking into. Then there was one or two instances wherein we kind of missed a little bit of tenses and structurally the sentence formation. I think that was at the moment kind of a thing. So I was in a panic state that becomes a state of panic. So things like this, small things, but we are way better off than where we were some time back. And moving forward, I think we have to keep at this level with a much more flamboyant way of speaking, right? So that we kind of develop into something bigger and better than what we were before. So that is one of the feedback I have for the entire Toastmaster meeting team here today. Now, getting that out of the way, there were 7 instances of the word indolent being used. It could have been much more, it could have been much less. So I won't comment on it, but people who spoke up should actually reflect on, because this was pretty much in line with what the meeting was about today, the theme of the meet. So I think we could have used it a little more. But having said that, 7 is decent, but we should aim higher. Now, this is my part as a grammarian here. But just to go back to that table topics thingy, I have few things to say. Yeah, I am also fed up with my sister, not as much as to put her in a washing machine. I am much more of a microwave kind of a guy myself. With the second thing was the hostel, you going to the director's house and peeing. Well, had they not fixed the washroom earlier, I would have considered doing it. But I did not end up doing that this time around. And the third one was, there was a hen running behind me. The only thing I can say was, again, to which Shreya replied that I run behind hens. You would better want to make it chicks. Hence, no. So I know it's horrible, but that's me. So over and out. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's the wrap on the evaluation for the day. Thanks, team. I think we made sure that we didn't really use too much of overhead and still have everyone have fun. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ram and the tag team for the great evaluation. I would like to end this meeting with a really nice quote about procrastination. I mean, you generally procrastinate, that is, willfully procrastinate when you don't feel that the work is really important. So, a famous man once said, when you see your work as a battle to be fought every day, you will take your work more seriously and never procrastinate. And this brings us to the end of this meeting. So we have posted 2 links in the chat. One for voting the best table topics speaker, and the other link for choosing the best speaker. Please go there and vote for them, and we would be with the results in some time. Let's give it a minute. Yeah, so the guests can also, go and vote for the best table topic speaker and the overall speaker. We have the
Bhargav, I think you're stuck. We can't hear you.
table topics.
I guess if Bhargav knew that, he wouldn't do that.
Shreya, do you have anything to say?
No, we couldn't hear you, Bhargav.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I have the table. So the best table topic speaker result. Any guesses?
We heard the name.
Oh, you heard the name. Okay, the best table topic speaker is Shreya. I'm announcing it again. Congrats, Shreya.
Thank you.
Though you couldn't guess the right person, your
Yeah, I didn't know you were such a devil. Otherwise, I would have. I somehow assumed that Sumedh has to be devil and you got away. But yeah.
Best results as well. Best evaluator, Abhijit. The best we have.
So the best evaluator is Abhijit, for those who could not make that name out of the chart voice, but it's Abhijit. Congratulations, Abhijit.
Superb. Congratulations, Abhijit.
Well, all thanks to your speech, Sowmya. Otherwise, I would have gotten the opportunity to evaluate. Thanks, guys.
The captain has abandoned the ship, it seems. So I'll take this opportunity to announce the winner of best speaker. One of them is the abandoning captain himself, the TMoD Bhargav. We have a tie between 2. And the other is, surprise, surprise, for the first time in forever, the SAA, Shreya.
Wow. Congratulations. Well done.
With that, as acting TMoD, I would like to hand over the meeting to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Abhijit. Thank you.
Thank you, acting Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hind. Well, that was an amazing meeting. I think it can be very easily inferred from the fact that everybody's smiling, everybody's laughing. And that's kind of the main thing that I want to drive here to the conclusion. For all the guests who have been here, we would love to hear your feedback. But I would like to say one thing. All of you who have found challenges to be here, and the guests who are here for the first time or maybe second time, if you feel that you want to have more fun every week while working on some of the communication skills on the way, I think I would really invite you to come back again in these meetings and have fun and learn on the go. Okay, let's just quickly take some feedback from some of the guests. We have a bunch of guests here. First of all, Milind, do you want to share something?
A great one. I'm so glad that you guys are continuing to have these meetings over the Zoom or Hangout or whatever that may be. But the spirit is still the same, which I saw maybe 4 or 5 months back when I attended in the office. That was long back. But that time the number of people were around 33, 34 something. Here we are looking at around 15 to 18 people, but the spirit is exactly the same. So thank you so much for keeping it up to speed. Please continue with that. This is one of the activities which I love definitely, and good to see people improving their communication skills. 2 thoughts from my side. Why you guys, everyone talked why procrastination is not good. There was no talk where somebody said procrastination is good. And one example I can give you is Gmail for that. If you use the feature to delay sending emails, you will know the importance of procrastination. It's amazing. Please do that. If you have not done it, you will realize what I'm talking about. In my Gmail, I have set it to 20 seconds. So I always get 20 seconds of buffer time to think over it and cancel it if I want to. So please do that. And the second one, which will help you a lot, maybe not all of you, but for sure once you come to management, when somebody drops the paper saying that, okay, I'm going to leave, please don't act immediately. Delay it as much as you can. Otherwise, it's going to be disastrous. I have seen that multiple times. People sometimes react very out of reflex action. And 24 hours down the line, they realize it, something has gone wrong. And people have taken back in front of me resignations. So please procrastinate there as well. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Milind. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. We have Toastmaster Rohini. Do you want to introduce yourself to all of us and tell us how you felt about the meeting today?
Hi, everyone. My name is Rohini Naik from ANZ Toastmasters Club. And this is the second time I'm attending. I happened to visit your club as a demo speaker. So I was quite impressed. That was my first meeting with you guys. And you have continued to mesmerize me even in this meeting online, but still the same energy. So well done. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohini, for your feedback. And we have Toastmaster Sanket.
Hey, Abhijit, thank you. This was my first time that I attended Toastmasters session here. It was fantastic. I mean, everybody spoke really well. And moreover, definitely, I like this part of the AhCounter, which I usually do, because I believe that this happens because of the lack of words, or the lack of vocabulary, or I should say, let's say you're not able to react to certain questions, certain situations, etc. This happens very less with respect to the mother tongue itself. For example, if it's my mother tongue Kannada, I can definitely go ahead and speak really well. But when it comes to something else, for example, English, it's definitely not easy. And this is one such amazing platform to improve ourselves and to grow in a better way and to be a better speaker, not only a speaker, but to develop an overall personality. Thank you so much. And I don't know if I should procrastinate to join the club or not. I don't know what that's going to be. Thank you so much for the opportunity given. Fantastic. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanket, for your thoughts there. You can procrastinate a bit before joining the club, but I would definitely not recommend you from procrastinating to join as a guest. You can do that for as long as you want to and check out our meetings and have fun. All right, The last thing I want to tell, just mention everybody, we have a district level event called Carvan, which is going to happen on June 7th. And it's going to be a Twisted Dialogues contest. If you want to register yourself, you will soon get a intimation and flyer about what this thing all is about. You can read through, and if it interests you, you can register yourself as a contestant. The very least, you can go there and see how this interesting contest is going to happen and join as an attendee remotely. It's going to happen on June 7th, Sunday. So once you get the registration link, please go ahead and do that. All right. One book that I'm reading these days is called Atomic Habits. It actually talks about, I don't know how many of you've heard about it. It's a great book. I highly recommend it if you get a chance to look at it. One thing that the author talks about that is always make goals, but do not focus on the goals. Focus on the process. Think about it, how stupid it would be that you go into a game thinking that your goal is to win the game, score maximum runs, and you can't really spend the whole of your game looking at the scoreboard. You have to focus on the process. Only then you will win. How that relates to Toastmasters? We all want to do better at communication skills. We want to be at some version of ourselves, which seems too far right now. But we can get overwhelmed, or we can get intimidated by where we have to go or where we are right now. But I would say don't really focus on those things. Focus on the process. If you can just focus on being 1% better attendance than your current self, 1% better effort on the role that you're going to take next, that's all that's going to take to continue to help you march on this journey and become better as you go. With that, make sure that whenever you get the next intimation of signing up for roles, please go ahead and do that, plan early, and then start focusing on that process. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. We went over time, but that so often happens when you're having fun. So see you next time. Thank you.